What is the American dream?
The American dream is an idea that we are fed from childhood about what to strive for in life, about what we need to accomplish in life to be considered a real American or reach that final end goal that we all so much dream of having a big house with a big backyard, with a big family, with a bunch of different kinds of pets, good financial statements, good and fabulous life. That fabulous that we all dream of, that fabulous life that everybody wants to strive for. That's what we are fed from childhood, and that's what we are to consider the American dream.
Now, what is that to you?
In context of me and the way I've lived my life and my personal experiences, what the American dream is to me is, like I said before, something we are fed from childhood, something we are given as fuel to get to that end goal, something we are given to strive for and to earn at the end of the day. But living through my life, I see it's not so cookie cutter and not so simple as they make it seem. There are so many challenges many face throughout their lives. So many that I have experienced, so many that I have seen, and there is just a lot that really always goes into it. From the person's skin color, the person's social status, the person's look on life, the person's and the way they look at themselves or how others look at them. It isn't as simple as just work hard, go to school, go to college, get a job, be at the end goal. That is how we are fed and that's how we are seen, but it never is really that simple. And I have experienced this multiple times, and I've had a wide variety of experiences that changed my outlook on the way it looks.
You said you experienced it. Can you explain that experience?
Well, the experience I had is when I was a young child, my mother and I ended up getting deported from the country as we were here undocumented and illegally. And we were there for a couple months, and life at that time was really hard for both of us, and as well as my father at the time, as well as only the three of us. But I remember seeing the struggle. I remember how much of a hustle it was, how much it was really tough to get back into here and tough to get what this country so much says as it's our right, as it's a promise that they're welcoming to us. And that really changed my outlook on the way it is, and that really changed a lot of how I see the American dream and a lot how I see others try to reach that type of goal as well.
How did that exactly change your outlook?
Well, it changed it by having me realize that, just like before, it isn't cookie cutter. It isn't simple. Not that I ever assumed that it would just be handed to me and it would just be handed to me and I would just be there already. But just in the way that I didn't realize that this country portrays itself to be something better than it is, something that it's portraying itself to be a lie. I see it as a lie. I see it as it's only here to portray stuff like that. But the people in it, the people who make up it, don't see that. They don't respect that. So this country ends up being what the American dream is. It becomes a whole juxtaposition. It becomes the antithesis to what it's supposed to stand for, which makes it end up being obsolete.
Can you tell me how your outlook has been over the years?
Well, I see the American dream as just a fantasy. I and my experiences, such as the deportation, such as me currently working over the years as I've gone more into agricultural and more in just to noticing my surroundings and seeing the way it is, and then just everything that comes with the media, that my outlook is given, it's so much wider now and so much broader between everything because I'm seeing more reality. Because as a child, even with that experience, I was still in the midst of like, okay, if I just work hard, I'll get there. I have seen those people struggle so much with life, and I have been working in the fields lately, and I myself get personally attacked racially. I get the white owner of the fields, and he basically tells the whole crew, which includes me, like, get back to work, you dirty Mexicans. You're here to earn money. You're here to earn a check. Now do it and stop complaining, or do it, or we'll just find another hood off the block. And that to me just shows like how much people really do struggle, or how much this country itself oppresses its own citizens, or even if they're not technically by definition citizens, how much they refuse to let the ones who want to get that life, the ones who want to be the citizens, how much they end up refusing that, or like the big complexity within that.
Racial profiling, what does that bring to this world?
All that racial profiling brings to me is racism.
And how does racism affect American citizens?
How it affects the citizens and how it affects the country as a whole is it just separates us. It gives us a sense of division. It does not bring us together. Instead, it only divides us. We're all human. We're all supposed to be considered citizens. Yet we each act like everybody is on a different team. We act like we're all from different planets. We act like we're all in our own little world. And while I understand that to a point, the way we act right now, such as with the Black Lives Matter movement, with a bunch of charities and fundraisers that are going towards the poverty of children. As of today, there's projected to be 270 million families that are not going to be able to afford food, and then there's hundreds of thousands of deaths due to coronavirus. We are in a time of great disparity. We are in a time where we all need to come together. But yet, what this racism does, it oppresses that sense of teamwork, and it only brings out the hatred. It only brings out the hate. It only brings out the division between us. We don't work together even in our worstest times, and the base starting off is that we don't see somebody with a different color as the same person, which is just not right, and it's just not morally and principally correct to do.
Based on your knowledge, what is your stance on the American dream?
My stance on the American dream is that as it stands right now, it's only fiction.